Vietnam is a country with a history of war, of revolution. One of the conquerors who came and made a colony of this land was France, with the total control over Nguyen dynasty and the southern of Vietnam in 1883 and over a sector in Indochina in 1884. The French had set their ruling mark and they have been there to establish in many aspects from political to cultural, social traits, characteristics which still are to be seen even today. It is better to understand the colonization as both negative and positive occurrence upon Vietnam and to not looking at the sorrow. We should to appreciate the legacies that French has given us for their part of the story. And the story of us sure has a beauty carries something that's slightly French with it. Cờ Bác Church was built in 1932 and originally named Church of Mary by French administration in Indochina as part of Hanoi's urban plan supervised by Ernest Elba. The church architecture reflects the marriage between French and Vietnamese architecture. The design indicated significant influence from the Art Deco movement and eclectic style. The whole structure is within the basilica concept and the details are more innovative and eclectic. The roof tile is in the traditional style of Vietnam and the harmony of the church with the surrounding green area is another element of Vietnamese style. The agreement went against common rule of symmetry which can be seen authentic basilicas. Here, a bell tower is aligned to the right in balance with the central arch, where a French flower window casts sunlight in the praying room. The church gives a peaceful air with an aim for release despite the enormous size. The actual room for praying is not remarkable. Only about 700 people can be in the praying room at the same time. The housing architecture of France has its unique character, as seen in Long Bien Bridge, once again portrayed in many inner structure and decor of the mansion. Elegant, majestic, despite the cruelty of time, each small detail would inspire the visitor of the nostalgic feeling, like a trip back to the golden times they were. Beautiful, isn't it? Ernest Helba also designed the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, which is a unique architectural art embodied in Indochina architecture in 1924, started construct in 1925 and completed in 1928. It is a harmonious blend of native architecture and French architecture, taking elements of gardens and street, combining the symmetry of pillars with each other. In addition to the value of architecture, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs office building also has historical significance. This is a construction project, a place to mark the event, an important historical landmark of the nation associated with national hero, celebrity, political activists, made famous science and art culture with important influence for national history. Then a construction, the heroic symbol of the Vietnam on its way to liberation and the defense of the nation, freedom and nationality. The Long Bien Bridge was constructed from 1889 to 1902 during French occupation of the country. Long Bien was considered the pride symbol of architecture in the Far East. The bridge would connection point to transport tons of rice from northern and northern central area of Vietnam to Dien Bien Phu battle and contribute to the win of Vietnam army against French. More than 100 years with decades of war, Long Bien Bridge would bombed many times by air attacks by American Army in 1967 and 1972. Many spans of the bridge were destroyed. The left span still remaining today remind us of an unforgettable past. The bridge, hence, is not only a traffic construction, a nice architecture, but also a living historical relic. In the modern day, the bridge isn't really as often used as main connecting part over the river anymore, as Thang Long Bridge rose up stronger and bigger compared to the old rugged carrier. Yet people from everywhere still came to see this landmark, see the one who stood witness to all the change as well as the fighting alongside the people of Hanoi. As the masterpiece of the great Gustav Eiffel, Long Bien Bridge indeed has always been a highlight in the long and romantic story of Hanoi and what made the Church of Hanoian. Since 1993, Lespas has been a part of French embassy in Vietnam. The center was once called the language center of French civilization. Lespas operates primarily in the field of culture, arts, French language, and education. Lespas today has a modern, elegant, and romantic look. Entering the main entrance, visitors immediately approach the exhibition hall, which was designed to honor contemporary art. Every month, there are at least one exhibition and several concerts or art performances. With transparent doorways, the exhibition hall takes visitors to an open space filled with light and closeness to nature. Not only a cultural and artistic destination, the space is also a prestigious and attractive educational center. The space focuses on investing in building multimedia library with friendly and comfortable space to serve all readers. Thanks to the past, the French will now have something to add to the modern day of Hanoi. Many things changed as innovation came to take the city to its new evolution. But amongst all those growing skyscrapers are elderly buildings, know the soul of the city and its people. For all appreciate the Hanoian surely knows the invaders who once regained from their homeland, but on the other hand, we should thank them too. For in this modern Hanoi, there is something called awe. There's such beauty in a very French character. There is a legacy for us to cherish.